Hey everybody, Dave here, and welcome back for another one. Today is all about smoking bear ribs on the Ugly Drum Smoker. I take you from the beginning to the end, so stick around. So the very first thing we need to do now that we've got charcoal in our chimney here is tear off a few pieces of paper, and they're going to go underneath just like that. So we'll light them. And we'll set that down there. And as that paper catches, that chimney draft will pull up there and get that charcoal nice and white. And we'll have it ready to dump on the other coals to keep things going. So what I've done here, normally what I do is I line the charcoal all around the outside like that, because I usually do like I want it cold smoke, like 140 degrees or 120 degrees. But what I did here was I dumped a bunch of charcoal in the bottom, and I want to get that going just like a regular grill. I want to build up the heat in here because this is bear meat, and I want to make sure it cooks through thoroughly for the first couple of hours. Then I'll bring it down and I'll slow cook it in a smoke to give it the flavor it needs, and at that time we'll be finishing it off with sauces and other stuff. But what I'm going to do is go prep the bear meat once I get this going, and we'll go from there. Okay, now I got the coals on the chimney. What I've done is I've hollowed out the middle of the charcoal, and I'm just going to dump this right in there. That's it. We'll hang this back on here. Now we'll just let that cook for a little bit. That's going to spread out into each side and get everything nice and hot. Next thing I want to do is open up the draft at the bottom. While the smoker is prepping, the chimney is getting stuff started, I'm going to just salt and pepper these, each side. It's easy to just do one side completely and flip it over and repeat. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is garlic powder, and I just dump it on. I'm not worried about. And we'll flip it over. We'll do the same size, same thing, salt and pepper. And then what we're going to do is add the garlic powder back. Okay, good. Now, what I'm going to do also is I'm going to add a little brown sugar on this. Just going to put it on the one side. We're going to get this all set up later. We'll probably add a little more later. And then the other thing is I'm going to put some liquid smoke on. And I'm going to put that right on the meat. And then the next thing is I'm going to take a little Coke. I'm just going to pour it around the bottom of the pan here. It's going to give it a little extra flavor. Those sugars in there. That should be good. Looking good already, huh? Now the other thing I'm going to do is I've got some of this dollar store Longhorn grill seasoning, and I'm going to put a little bit of that on the bigger one. And then I've got some dollar store Cajun style seasoning, and I'm going to put that on the smaller one. I'm just going to leave it just like that. And then what I'm going to do is once I get the charcoal up to temperature on the smoker, I'm just going to set it right on top. I'm not going to cover it or anything. I'm just going to, I want all this stuff to boil off, and I want the smoke to be able to envelop these ribs. So let's make sure that the fire is going good, and we'll take it over there. Okay, I've cleaned the grates up, and that looks so good now, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be great once the smoke hits it. I'm just going to set it on top here. And then I'll put the lid on, and we're just going to let it cook. I'm going to probably let it go for about 3 hours. I'll check the temperature. Open the stack fully. I want to get that fire going. I'll check the temperature gauge right here, and I want to try and cook this around 200, 250 for about 3 hours. So now that the ribs are on and they're cooking, we just wait. So after 3 hours, the temperature is up just below 300 degrees, and it's been cooking there for a while. Let's take a look at the meat, see what it looks like. Oh, that's looking good. That's what you want. You want it pulling back from the bone, have it nice and juicy. Fat's collected in the pan. We'll finish it off at a real low heat with some barbecue sauce on it. Take the ribs out. I'm going to put them right on the rack. Okay, the meat's been cooking at about 275, 300 for about 2.5 hours. As you can tell, the bone is coming through. I'm just going to lather this up with some nice barbecue sauce. This is a honey-based barbecue. Put some more on here. Now I'm going to flip it over. Get the bottoms. When I open it up, I get a little flare up because I had some wood in there. Top of the charcoal. Now I'm going to put this lid back on, and I've closed up the bottom draft completely, so the only air that comes in is what's in and out of the vent or sucked in around the sides here. So this temperature should drop down now, and it'll smoke it the rest of the way. And when I'll probably give it another 15 minutes or so like that and check on it, and should be pretty much done. Time to eat. So I decided after about 10 minutes, sauce is really in there. You can see it. Doesn't that look great? Take them off. There you go. That's what they look like. Nice and juicy. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us today. I've got to tell you that those ribs were absolutely spectacular. I made them with some garlic French fried potatoes in the oven, along with some corn on the cob, and the whole meal was terrific. In fact, there was only 4 ribs left at the end, and everybody ate it. I didn't tell anybody what it was, and even my daughter thought it was beef, and I said no, it's actually bear. And so my grandson was the only one that was a little leery about trying it, and I think it's because he had preconceived notions of, you know, how something's going to taste. I mean, we've all been there, you know. But once he tried it, he wolfed it right down. He was going crazy at it. And he even said, you know, he would like me to make it again. And, you know, that sort of reminded me a lot about us and God. You know, for many of us, we have preconceived notions about God. You know, we have this idea of who he is, and maybe he just wants to meddle in my life. Maybe he wants to take over. He wants to wreck all my fun. But you know, there's a scripture verse in Psalm 34:8, and it says this. It says, "Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed are those that take refuge in him." Now, the thing of it is, we may have these preconceived notions about God, but I found out in my life that once I tasted of His goodness, once I tasted of His mercy for me, and once I tasted how much it was that He loved me, it totally changed me from the inside out. And now God and I have this relationship that He always designed for me to have with Him, and He designed for you to have with Him. And I walk with Him on a daily basis. And He's a huge part of my life. He is the biggest part of my life. And so, I don't know where you are in life, and I don't know what kind of preconceived notions you have about God, but I would encourage you to step in the direction of God and pursue Him. He longs to have a relationship with you. He longs to heal your brokenness, and believe me, every one of us is broken. So I would really encourage you to make a move towards God. And if you're not sure how to do that, I've written several books, and they're all free, and I want to give them to you as my thank you for watching our channel, and also as an opportunity for you to get to know God and know Jesus. They're all listed down below in the description, and you just click on the link and you can read them. There's no email, and there's no other information required. So guys, thanks so much again for joining us. And until next time, make sure you spend time out there with creation and the Creator. So God bless.